oh shoot, I didn't know this. I didn't know I'm getting simple interest and the difference is too much. That's why people need to be educated on these topics. And we are not taught about this at the school. Simple interest versus compound interest. Which one is better? Obviously, compound interest is the interest that we want to get. But the point that I want to make in this video is that why is it that compound interest is better than simple interest? And I want to show you everything with numbers so you better understand over a long period of time the difference between getting a simple interest and compound interest. So in here you can see we have two types of interests: simple interest and compound interest. Let's say for this example we are getting a 10% return. So the principal amount is $100,000. So we're depositing that $100,000 to our investments and not touching it for 30 years. So let's see how it looks. So for the first year of getting simple interest, we're gonna have $110,000. Second year, we're gonna have $120,000. Third year, we're gonna have $130,000. 10 years into this, we're gonna have $200,000. 20 years into this, we're gonna have $300,000. 30 years into this, we're gonna have $400,000. So that's how things look if we get 10% return, simple interest on our investments over the course of 30 years. Now let's jump on into the interesting side of the things, which is getting compound interest on our savings. So for the first year, we're gonna have $110,000. Again, the same as simple interest. But from now on, it's gonna be more interesting because now we are getting interest on top of the interest. So let's say with the simple interest, we had $100,000. We were getting 10% of this, adding to this, adding to this, adding to this. But now, for the second year of getting compound interest, we're gonna have $121,000. Why? We are getting interest on top of the extra $10,000 interest. So we are not getting interest only from the principal amount. We are getting interest on the top of the money that we had the year before. While for the simple interest, we were getting interest only from the principal amount. So that's how it works. So let's see what the difference can potentially be over the course of 30 years. So for the third year, we're going to have $133,000. After 10 years, it's going to be more complicated, so I have to look at my compound interest calculator. It's going to be $259,374,000. 20 years. Where is my calculator? Okay. $672.750. 30 years. 1,744,940,$1.7 million after 30 years. What happened? Exactly what happened here. So we had same principal amount, same rate of return. The only difference here was that we were getting simple interest and compound interest. So these were the two different things that we had here. And you can see the results. The compound interest is 4x. It's 4x more than simple interest. So that's the difference between being able to retire and not being able to retire. Almost $1.8 million versus $400,000. Now I want to show you something else. You see, when you are getting simple interest, you are trying to probably beat the inflation. That's why we try to grow our savings. So let's say inflation is somewhere around 3%. And you're saying, okay, I'm getting 10% return here, so I'm beating the inflation. But you have to also consider inflation is a compounded number. So when they say inflation is 3%, that's a compounded number. So inflation It's 3% year over year. The inflation has been 3% for the past few decades. So that's a compounded number. So if that's a compounded number, the question that comes up here that what's the current purchasing power of this money? If we consider the inflation, how much is that money to today's money? I've already calculated this and it is $164,800,000. Just let that sink in. Do you know what this means? It means over the course of 30 years, your purchasing power has only been up 64%. It's not a year over year number, it's just over the course of 30 years, 64%. But let's look at the compounded one. Almost $8 million. How much is that to today's money? I've already calculated this and it is $718,000. What does this mean? It means over the course of 30 years, your money has gone up almost 690%. So look at the difference here. 690% versus 64%. Again, same principal amount, same interest rate, just the only difference was simple interest versus compound interest. So what was the point of all of this? We need to make sure the money that we are investing in different investment solutions, they're getting compounded. You're not getting simple interest. Obviously, if you're getting 500% simple interest, it's better than 2% compound interest. But the point is that you need to do your own due diligence here to see, okay, so am I getting a good deal here if I'm getting simple interest with this rate of return? And probably maybe lock your money, because usually simple interest solutions, they lock your money up. So you can't touch your money for a few years. So you need to do your own due diligence to see, okay, is this a solution I want? Run your numbers exactly the way I ran my numbers. The last thing you want is to figure this out in a few years that, oh sure, I didn't know this. I didn't know I'm getting simple interest and the difference is too much. That's why people need to be educated on these topics. And we are not taught about this at the school. The school only teaches us how to learn a skill, find a job, make money. That the whole point of all of this is to make money, and they don't teach us on money topics. Now you may ask, what about the interest that we are paying? Like credit card interest, car loan interest, mortgage interest. What about those? Okay, so the answer to this is that lenders are not stupid. They want to show you the lowest number interest rate, so you do borrow the money. All I know is that most, for example, banks, when they give you a loan, they collect compound interest. When they are giving returns on your savings account, a lot of them are providing simple interest. Has anybody at your bank ever told you about this? So we need to make sure that we are not taking advantage of by educating ourselves. Now it's probably a good time for you to check if you're getting compound interest on or simple interest on your savings, and even compare the numbers to see if that's the return that you were expecting to get. Because the end result of all of this is that we want to get the best returns with the minimum amount of risk. You can always book a meeting with me at no charge. Link is in the bio. I'm a licensed financial advisor in Canada, and I believe it's not a bad idea to once in a while review what we are doing with our money. I also run a financial education campaign, and if you want to know more about that, I can also tell you more about that. Just let me know. Share this video with whomever you think can get value from this video. Maybe you have a friend at work. They are just starting to build their wealth. However, they're not familiar with the definition of simple interest versus compound interest. And they're investing in solutions that are giving them simple interest, and they are not even aware of that. By just bringing that awareness to their lives, you're going to change their life. So make sure to share this video with whomever you think it's going to get a lot of value from this video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.